So our run cycle is essentially finished. We just need to check it once more, making sure everything is solid before we can call this animation complete. Now when we get to this step, we just want to check the entire animation from multiple views. So let's just go ahead and play it back and just take a look at everything from the side view, getting great results here, the back view. Alright, we can go ahead and take a look at our top view. It looks very nice and fluid. Very exciting. We wouldn't have to check the bottom view. You can if you like, but it's not necessary. But coming back to the back view, you can see here the hips seem pretty rigid. Everything else is moving very fluidly and in a very organic way, but it seems like the hips are restricted right now. And to fix this, all we need to do is add a bit more animation in the tilt axis. So let's go ahead and grab the hip control, and here's how this works. When we reach our down position on around frame 5, you can see, alright, we have one leg planted, one leg up. Now the way the hips work when they tilt is, imagine if the hips were supported by pillars. If one side had no pillars, the hips would tilt and fall in that direction, and that's what we want to do here. We just want to have them tilt in the direction of the foot that is up, that is not contacting the surface right now. So on frame 5, we'll go ahead and rotate the hips down just slightly. Alright, great. And then from there, we can take this value that we used of about 6. We could always round that out. It's close enough. And we can go to frame 12 and put in the reciprocal here in the y-axis of -6. Okay, from there we can head over to our curve editor and do a little bit of cleanup work. So in the x-axis, we can go ahead and clean up our keys. Here's the y-axis. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and take a look at our z-axis just to clean up all of these keys in between. And now we can spend time cleaning up our y-axis by getting rid of the keyframe on 8, grabbing the keys on 1 and 15. We've done this already. Let's go ahead and use set to smooth. We can go ahead and drag our keys down, and then use set to spline. Alright, so if we were to take a look at the hips again, you can see that, alright, that's pretty cool. Now they really feel a part of the character. They don't feel so robotic. Now, I think the movement is pretty nice. It might be a bit too much, so if you wanted to, you could always decrease the movement very easily. We can go to our curve editor, head over to our rotation Y track, and here's what I'd do first. I'd go in and select the keys on 1 and 15 and choose set to smooth, so that as we start to tweak the keys that surround these, or the keys in between, instantly the tangents on 1 and 15 will be adjusted. So from there we can go ahead and select our 2 keys right here in between. We'll go to our value field, and we can try dropping the value to about half the amount, so we can go ahead and use an expression of n times 0.5. Alright, great. So let's go ahead and take a look now. That's much better. Alright, so from there we can go to 1 and 15. Let's go ahead and zoom in to our F-curve using the extends tools at the top. And we'll start to just drag our outer keys up and then use set to spline. And now we're left with a much better result in the character's hips. Very exciting. Alright, so that finishes up our run cycle. So now all we need to do is learn how to translate it forward. So let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson and learn how.